Never attack an enemy if you cannot derive any benefit from victory. Erwin Rommel, The Desert Fox. Triumph of Cunning. How the Germans outmaneuvered the British in the infernal heat of North Africa. Greetings, esteemed connoisseurs of military history. Today we journey to the heart of the sandy hell of North Africa, where in the midst of World War II, one of the most dramatic and unexpected chapters of this global conflict unfolded. We'll discuss how the German troops, shackled by the Versailles Treaty, managed to demonstrate miracles of tactical ingenuity and outsmart their numerically superior opponent, the British Army. After the crushing defeat in World War I, Germany was strictly forbidden to develop many types of weapons, including anti-aircraft guns vital for air defense. This restriction seemingly undermined the Wehrmacht's ability to effectively counter air attacks and significantly limited its combat capabilities. However, German strategists, demonstrating remarkable resourcefulness, found a brilliant way out of this difficult situation. In the autumn of 1933, they secretly initiated the development and production of the newest 8cm Flak 18 anti-aircraft gun, turning to the Swedish company Bofors for assistance. The choice of Sweden as a partner was due not only to the high level of development of its military-industrial complex, but also to the fact that this country, while formally adhering to neutrality, actually actively cooperated with the regime, being its strategic, economic, and technological ally. The role of this secret Swedish-German cooperation in the development and escalation of World War II is enormous. Many historians believe that without the supply of high-quality Swedish iron ore, which was used to produce almost half of all German weapons, including such legendary combat vehicles as the Tiger and Panther tanks, as well as extremely effective artillery systems, such as the famous 8cm Flak 18, Germany would not have been able to start, let alone wage, such a large-scale and destructive war. By the way, the official version of the origin of the number 18 in the name of the gun, supposedly denoting the year of its development, is nothing more than disinformation designed to mislead British intelligence. The Germans feared a negative reaction from Great Britain and preferred to conceal the true origin of their new anti-aircraft gun by 1936. Having fully mastered the technology received, German engineers modernized the gun, giving it a new designation, 8cm. Flak 36, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and leave a comment. We are always glad to see you among our viewers. The Tank Battle of Sidi Rezegh, a sandstorm of steel and fire. On November 19, 1941, in the scorching desert of North Africa, in the area of Sidi Rezegh, located east of Libya, one of the most grandiose tank battles in the annals of military history erupted. More than 1,000 steel monsters, tanks, clashed in a deadly fight, deciding the fate of this important strategic region. The British 8th Army, possessing a significant numerical advantage, 748 tanks against 362 of the German-Italian Africa Group, seemed to have every chance of a quick and decisive victory. Moreover, the British Matilda and Valentine tanks, known for their thick armor and powerful armament, significantly surpassed most German tanks in their combat characteristics. This advantage was due to the fact that for Great Britain, North Africa was a priority theater of military operations, where the most modern and effective combat equipment was sent, while Germany was forced to divide its resources between several fronts, including the Eastern Front, where its main forces were concentrated. An important role was also played by the active support of the United States of America, which supplied the British with weapons, ammunition, and other necessary resources. The British Matilda tanks boasted 75mm frontal armor and 70mm side armor, while the Valentines were protected by 60mm armor all around. This powerful armor protection made them practically impenetrable for most German anti-tank guns of that time. During the battle, there was a recorded case where a battalion of 50 Matildas destroyed more than 20 German tanks, losing only one of their own. The most effective German tanks in Africa were the PZKPFW-4. However, their number was very limited, only 35 vehicles. In addition, their short-barreled 75mm guns did not have sufficient penetrating power to effectively combat the thick armor of British tanks. The PZKPFW-2 and PZKPFW-3 tanks, armed with 50mm guns, were even less effective against British armored vehicles. The Italian tanks, of which there were about 150, were even more vulnerable. German artillery, represented by 37mm and 50mm guns, also could not offer significant resistance to the British tank wedges. Numerical superiority in manpower was also on the side of the British. 145,000 against 90,000 of the German-Italian group. Rommel's brilliant plan. 88mm flak guns, the terror of British tanks. In this seemingly hopeless situation, the talent of Erwin Rommel, nicknamed the Desert Fox, for unconventional and bold decisions shone brilliantly. He ordered the use of 88mm flak 18 and flak 36 anti-aircraft guns not for their intended purpose, but as powerful anti-tank weapons. This decision turned out to be a truly brilliant move. These guns, originally designed to combat aircraft, possessed not only high accuracy, but also enormous penetrating power. At a distance of 5 km, they could penetrate armor up to 123mm thick, and at shorter ranges, their shells turned British Matildas and Valentines into burning torches. A direct hit from the 88 was like a blow from the hammer of the gods. The shell ripped out a piece of armor like paper, and a hellish whirlwind of fire and metal burst into the tank. It was practically impossible to survive such a hit. British tank crews who survived this nightmare later recalled. The Germans had only 35 such anti-aircraft guns, divided into 9 batteries. Rommel distributed them in the most important directions, creating a network of deadly traps for British armored vehicles. One of the batteries was transferred to the Italian Savona division, which was holding the defense at Sidi Omar. The British command, mistakenly considering the Italians a weak link, concentrated their main blow on this very sector. A battalion of Matildas and Valentines rushed to attack, but was mercilessly shot down by 88mm guns before it could reach the enemy positions. Of the 52 tanks that participated in this attack, 48 were destroyed. A similar fate befell British tanks in other sectors of the front. Taking advantage of this unexpected turning point in the course of the battle, the Germans launched a decisive counteroffensive. Only the steadfastness and courage of the 4th Indian Division allowed the British to avoid complete defeat. From November 19th to 23rd, 1941, 814 British tanks and armored cars were destroyed in the battles near Sidi Rezegh. Despite the tactical victory, the Germans also suffered significant losses. Rommel had only 80 serviceable tanks left, and he was forced to retreat, but his army retained its combat effectiveness. The defeat at Sidi Rezegh and its consequences. The use of 88mm anti-aircraft guns as anti-tank weapons was a true revelation for both sides of the conflict. British tank crews were demoralized by the power of the 88s, and as Wehrmacht General Friedrich von Mellenthin recalled, often retreated in panic at the first shots of these guns. Paradoxically, the British themselves had their own 94mm anti-aircraft guns, similar in characteristics to the German 88mm guns. However, the British command forbade their use against tanks, which may have been one of the reasons for the defeat at Sidi Rezegh. And one more important historical fact. It was the 88mm anti-aircraft gun that served as the basis for the development of the powerful gun that armed the legendary German heavy tank Tiger, one of the most formidable combat vehicles of World War II. Thanks for being with us. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comments. See you again in the world of military history.